Hello, everybody. So, I just watched the first 3 episodes of He-Man Revelation, which is a continuation of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, the 1980s filmation version. Um, I don't know when I heard about He-Man Revelation, probably like last year or the year before. When I first heard about He-Man Revelation, I was just like, oh no, it's gonna be another She-Ra. Because we all, if you watch the 1980s filmation and if you watch the Netflix She-Ra, you'll know that I was a little skeptical when I heard about a He-Man version. I'm like, you did injustice to She-Ra, and now you're doing injustice to He-Man? No. But then I found out, no, it's just going to be a continuation of where it stopped. So I was okay with that. Because I was just like, they've done a lot of injustices to 80s cartoons already. It's like, I actually never watched the new Avengers of He-Man. I probably should watch that. That was the 90s version. Because, like, I don't know, the 21st century has not been kind to cartoons from the 80s. Like, the She-Ra, like I said, the She-Ra from Netflix, on Netflix, it had a lot of colors. It had a lot of colors, so that's, that's, that's the spirit of She-Ra. But, I mean, it didn't get good until the last season, so that was a bummer. And then they also had the movie Gem. I've never seen it, but I saw the trailer for it online because I didn't even know it came out, but they took it off because it made so little money. That's why I've never seen it in theaters before. So I wanted to talk about the beginning of the title sequence of He-Man Revelation. By the way, when I heard about it, it was anime style, so I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. The 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 characters are awesome. Like, just off the bat, I like it. Teela, I never really liked Teela. I did not care for Teela, but Teela, I like this. I like this Teela. I still don't really like her that much, but she's getting better. Orko, never cared for Orko. I like Orko. I like Orko a lot more than Teela now. Okay, and and so the characters, the way they animated it, just love it. Teela had a cape, and I heard that that was her original design. So in the comics or something. So it's just because I've never read the comics before, I want to read the comics. So I want to talk about the title sequence. The title sequence took out. Obviously, it took out. It's more dramatic now. So it's like, so they took out when in the and this is Cringer, my fearless friend, because obviously his name is Cringer, so he's a scaredy cat. And they put in only 4 others share the secret, so they put in Cringer. Like, Cringer finally matters this time. Cringer, no, like, because, like, in the 1980s one, it was just basically like a given. We all know Cringer knew because he was in the title sequence, but it was just it. But they didn't include Cringer in his friends group when he said only a few others share this secret, or only 3 others share the secret. So to this day, and I'm glad that they the Sorceress, Cringer, Man-at-Arms, and Orko. I mean, to this day, whenever I watch the 1980s version title sequence, I'm just like, why Orko? Why did you tell Orko? He gets everything wrong. And I'm hoping that in this new version of He-Man, they're gonna tell us why does Orko know? Because I think maybe they did tell us how Orko knew in this show. I don't know if they did or not. But I think there was one version of He-Man where they showed how Orko knew, and like he accidentally saw He-Man transforming, and so that's how he became. That's how he knew. But I know that in the episode Battle Cat, Cringer saw He-Man transforming, saw Adam transforming into He-Man, and so then He-Man accidentally put his sword towards Cringer and pointed the sword towards Cringer, and so Cringer became Battle Cat, and that's how we found out about Battle Cat. So in the what I really liked is that they follow up on the first episode of Revelation. They follow up on the Masters of Universe episode, The Rainbow Warrior, which was eating at me for so long. Where at the end of the episode, that's one of my favorite episodes. At the end of and this is one of the reasons why. At the end of the episode, everyone, well, let me give you a synopsis of the Rainbow Warrior. The Rainbow Warrior is where Queen Marlena goes to save everyone. The King Randor, Adam, Orko, Cringer, Man-at-Arms, Teela, everyone got captured. So Queen Marlena leads the palace army into battle to get them back. She frees Adam first. And then at the end of the show, Adam asks her, "Mother, why did you free me first?" And she says, well, I don't know if this is word for word, I forget. Well, you're my son. I trust you. I know you would know what to do. And so anyone who's watched He-Man, who watched that episode, knows that has an idea that Marlena has an idea that her son is not necessarily He-Man, but he's in the know about all this stuff, because we all know, if we've watched He-Man before, just any He-Man movie, not Heat movie, just any episode of He-Man, of the Masters of the Universe, he has terrible excuses on why he needs to leave to go change into He-Man. He's like, usually like when something big is happening, like, oh, the castle's being attacked by Skeletors, like he's just like, you know what, I'm gonna go take a nap, and just like and everyone's just like, really? Oh my gosh. And it's just like the reason why he says he has to act all laid back and everything is because he doesn't want anyone to suspect that he is He-Man. But it's just like, those are terrible excuses. For me, that would be terrible excuses. Like, anyone who has their home being attacked wouldn't just go say, you know what, I'm gonna go take a nap right now. It's like, it's really stupid. But I think also she was just saying that, like, also it's just motherly intuition. Like, I know my child is a lot more than he seems. And it's funny because Randor has no idea. King Randor has no idea. And like, there was an episode, I forget what the name of the episode is called. Even though I've watched all the episodes, sometimes I still forget what they're called. There was an episode where Adam, Man-at-Arms, and King Randor went out, and they were fighting. They were fighting Skeletor's henchmen, and then and Randor punched one of the guys, and he said, "Oh, I have a good I think it was right hook or left hook," and then at the end of the show, Adam was just like, well, I wouldn't mess with a guy who has a good right hook," and Randor was like, "What?" And you're like, "No, it couldn't be." So, like, even Randor had a split second where he was like, "Wait, I only told that to He-Man, so how does he know?" So, but Randor was like, "No, it couldn't be. My son is not that responsible." And so to Teela and Randor, he's just like, they're just, it was kind of unfair to me that how in the Masters of the Universe they treated Adam, because it was just like, you are so lazy and all what you do is think about having fun. But it's just like, in the end, like, he was actually He-Man. But I digress. I'm talking about Masters of the Universe when should be talking about Revelations. So in the first episode, He-Man, so they have a celebration where Teela's going to be knighted. Just as she's about to be knighted, Adam gets telepathy from a sorceress saying Castle Grayskull is being attacked. He warns Man-at-Arms. Man-at-Arms tells everyone it's being attacked. Castle Grayskull is being attacked. So they go to Castle Grayskull. Skeletor is already in Castle Grayskull, and the sorceress is putting up her defenses, and we find out that Castle Grayskull was actually just a front for the Castle of Wisdom, I believe it was. And inside is like a kind of sanctuary thing where an orb that contains all of Eternia's magic is in. And Skeletor tricks He-Man, and He-Man uses his sword of power to open the sanctuary to access the orb. Skeletor like breaks the orb open, and then it's about to explode, and then He-Man says, "What can I absorb the explosion in this form?" And then Teela, because Teela's there too, and she's just like, "In this form?" And also the and also Cringer Cringer's there too. So again, so like, obviously Teela has no idea what He-Man is talking about. So so he starts using the sword of power to absorb the explosion, and through the absorbing, the sword splits in two. We first see Cringer running away from the explosion, but Battle Cat, and then Battle Cat turns into Cringer, and turns back into Cringer, and then He-Man turns back into Adam, and then Teela is just like astonished, because it's just like, my best friend, who is lazy as sin, is the strongest man in the universe. Who knew that? And so Skeletor and He-Man are fighting it out at this point too, and then He-Man and Skeletor die, which is upsetting. So Man-at-Arms, so they're back at the palace, and Man-at-Arms has to tell King Randor and Queen Marlena that He-Man is dead. Um, he says so. He says He-Man has succumbed. So then Queen Marlena starts sobbing, and so Randor comes in and comforts her, and then she looks up at him and she says, "Our son is gone as well," and so then he's just like, "Wait, what?" And so then Randor looks at Man at Arms, and Man at Arms doesn't really say anything, but he basically gives a face like, "Yeah, they were the same people. Adam and He-Man were the same people," and so then Randor is so mad that this was being kept a secret, and Man at Arms was just like, well, he ordered us not to tell him, and it's like, but Randor was still very mad, so um he banished Man at Arms, and he stripped him of his rank, and Man at Arms was not allowed. I didn't find this out until episode 3, but he's not allowed to invent anything anymore either. He or he'll be executed, because those were the terms of his banishment, or he'll be executed. Um, and so and then Teela, she also gets very angry because like she's just like, so basically everyone knew except me, and she's just like, so you all lied to me for my whole entire life. You lied to me. And so then she leaves. In episode 2, we find out that she's not really she does hero things, but she does it for money, obviously. Um that's Evelyn comes in, and but she's dressed as the old lady again. Her, Evelyn's famous old lady disguise. And you find she asks Teela. Teela has a partner now, who a partner for in her job now, in her new line of work, and so she goes. So Evelyn asks Teela to go and get a chalice from Snake Mountain. Snake Mountain is run by Triclops now. And you know what? I'm like, did I hear like when I heard Triclops' voice, because Triclops is like basically the head of a cult now, and the cult is to like the savior of technology now, and it's just like, Hordak and Skeletor had beef because Skeletor, even though Hordak was the teacher of Skeletor and Hordak did just divulge because Skeletor was just like, I'm putting my faith in magic, and Skeletor was just like, I'm putting my faith in technology. If you don't know, Hordak is the villain on Eternia, which is where She-Ra lives. She-Ra Adora. And so that's the thing I don't know yet, is like, just is this like, because the continuation, when He-Man ended, She-Ra didn't we weren't introduced to She-Ra yet, so only when she when the first episode of it started, so only when He-Man went to Eternia is like we found out that Adora was his long lost sister. So I don't know if they're gonna include She-Ra in it. So you need to keep watching. What was I saying? Oh, so like, yeah. So if Hordak saw Triclops, he would just be like, and I thought I loved technology, okay? So that he just wanted to get a sacrifice for stuff. Triclops wanted to get a sacrifice for things. And he made people into like cyborgs, and it's just like, wow, this guy Triclops is and I think Triclops is the voice actor for Triclops is the guy who voiced Zahir. Because then that would be a good voice actor. Because I'm just like, I know this craziness. Where have I heard this craziness voice from? And I'm just like, oh, it might, and it's like, and I'm like, because I watched Avatar, Legend of Korra a few months, like a month ago or two, and so like, so Zahir's voice is very much in my head right now. The familiarity of Zahir's voice is very much in my head right now. So I'm like, oh, I think that's the guy who plays Zahir. It's like it's perfect because he's the leader of the Triclops is the leader of the cult, and oh, and by the way, Mark Hamill plays Skeletor, so that I was like, oh, that's good too. So they get the chalice, they bring it back to Majestra. Majestra takes them to Castle Grayskull, where the sorceress is there trying to hold on to the as much magic that's left from the destruction. And she's gotten very old, most likely due to it's not really shown how far, it's not really said how far the time skip was, but I would also guess that like it's been a long time, but I'll also guess that not a huge long time, because Teela hasn't changed, she just changed her hair. She due to the stress of keeping Grayskull, of protecting Grayskull, and the magic that's just put on her as well. So long story short, she's dying as well. So she trusts the magic that's left to Evelyn. So Evelyn and the sorcerers are working together. The sorceress tells them to go on a quest, tells Teela and her partner, I'm so sorry, I'm forgetting her partner's name, to go find the two halves of the sword that broke of the power sword. So they go with excuse me. They go with Evelyn. And they and Teela's like, there's only one person who can help us. And so then they go find Man-at-Arms, who's banished. He also has long hair now, and he's gray now. Well, some parts of his hair are gray. And we find that he's with Roboto, and Orko is also there. And Orko, he also, like, basically all the people who are magic basically are basically dying or really sick, which is weird because Evelyn looks fine basically, but Orko he's very scraggly, he's very thin. Obviously his magic's not working as it's even working. You know how like in the old one his spells would always backfire. This time it's even worse, so that's kind of sad. And so they go on a quest to get the sword. There's one underneath Eternia and there's one overhead of Eternia. I forget what the regions are called. So they go down to the way to go get under Eternia is like through Merman's territory. And Merman has a grudge with Evil-Lyn because Evil-Lyn was just because he thought that since Skeletor was out of the way, Evil-Lyn would collaborate with him and they would take over Eternia, but that didn't happen, obviously. So, Merman tried to kidnap them, and they were just like, "Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen." And when they let Merman go, they got hold of Merman, and they let Merman go if he helped them get to where they were going. And then as Merman left, he was just like, "I'm not gonna forget you," and he said it with an ominous tone as he went down undersea. And then Teal's partner was like, "I knew there was something fishy about that guy." And then everyone looked at her like, "What?" Everyone was thinking it. Like, it's not like that, because He-Man is known for having that dry humor where it's just like that really cringy humor. It's like, really? But I love it. We all love it. We all love it, even though it's very cringy humor. And so that's basically where it ends. I really like it. I'm gonna keep watching more of it. And I recommend it. And I recommend it to the people who are very hesitant on watching sequels to something else. Like I know we're all still recovering from She-Ra. I know we're all still recovering from She-Ra, but this will help. I'm pretty sure this will help you in your journey of recovering from She-Ra. I recommend it. Yeah, just my what I want to see. I want to see if Adora She-Ra will make a will make a will be in this. I want to know, because they keep hinting that they want to tell Teela that she is the daughter of the sorceress. So I would want to know that, because obviously Teela is just like, no more lies. And that's the whole reason why she left the palace. I want to know what's happening at the palace. Who is taking over? Did they have another kid? Or something? I don't know. So yeah, and obviously He-Man's gonna come back in Skeletor. I just don't know when, and we just don't know how it's gonna happen. Yeah, that's all I have for today. Bye.